Ayo.
Oh, shit.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Folks, welcome back to the Producer Lounge. Here we are. It is episode 194. Folks, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I want to welcome you.
Welcome.
A little worn in welcome.
Hey, nice.
Welcome in.
Yeah.
That's funny because our guest today is worn in.
Whoa,
Yeah.
shit.
I happened to be digging through your guys' garbage cans, and then you saw me out there, and you're like, oh, we could have him on. So, you know.
Yeah, probably
Yeah, we had-
produces.
Yeah.
We had a last minute scheduling issue. I hope he gets better.
I hope so, too.
I'm sorry.
We saw
See him eventually. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how is everyone? I'm sorry.
Shall we?
I'm doing good, young Caleb.
I'm doing good, too.
Just finished up one of my songs on my next EP. I'm like 90% done with the EP. Yeah, it's coming.
That's how much you are done.
I still can't decide if I want to call it Ripple Tech Volume 2 or just have some whole new name. But
Ripple Tech.
Yeah.
Ripple Tech
I
Volume 2.
I like the idea of just spamming the Ripple Tech name for a sec because I think it's
Dude.
fucking sick.
For the algorithm, it's great because if every time they type in Ripple Tech, if there's 4 of them, they'll just find all of them.
That's true.
So it's
That's
like,
true.
fuck it, why not?
Yeah, it's true. It's more weight on the algorithm.
It's true.
It's so true.
That's fun.
Right? I've been working on
That's
this last song the
badass.
past just 3 days. It was the weakest link where it was just kind of like a half-assed idea that I posted on my Instagram, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh, this is fucking hilarious!" Like, and I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll do something with this then."
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. How was your
Good,
guys'
good
week?
little taste tester. Throw her up on Instagram. See if
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
lose their mind or not.
Yeah.
Right.
I think about that sometimes. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, me too. I kind of like swore it off because I just got.
retreat
It could be time to throw it out every once in a while. Though.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the cringe of it,
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
especially
Right.
when like it's coming from my personal page. It's like not.
Look at this new song I made.
I mean, yeah, like
Right.
yeah, all the things.
Zoom,
Like,
zoom.
What's up, guys?
But what was I gonna say? Damn it!
Ha! You got derailed, nerd.
Dude.
Suck it.
I'm such a nerd, you guys. You're right. But if we made like a page for our project right now,
Mhm.
then I would be more down to be like, all right, on here for stories.
Sure.
That's
Right.
that's
Throw
what
one
we
up
do.
there.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like really tame, and it's like just
Not a lot of face cam.
no. Well,
Not a lot of face.
It's probably like black
definitely
and white.
not that, but just it's just like at the screen in the speaker.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
Turn
stay
around
stagnant.
and selfie yourself with
Yeah.
the speakers. You're like,
Dude.
But it's like from a horrible like
And you do,
bottom up
like-
angle.
Oh, dude, chin, just double
your
chinning.
face
Like,
is-
That would be It would be fun to do something
like-
weird like that.
it would be
but-
fun once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Can you show me?
I think the close homies would rein in with their love.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
it was good
Sure.
enough.
Sure.
You
Have-
know?
have you guys
and then you get
announced-
some info.
Have you announced your project name on the pod before?
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it still a secret?
But-
It's still a secret.
If I can avoid to,
Doesn't really matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
but I'll just not because it's fun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
the
exist.
mystery is nice.
So
It doesn't exist yet technically. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we don't need to worry about that.
anyways, Warren in, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, buddy.
That was a long intro. I'm sorry.
No, it happens.
No.
It happens. There's a lot to cover this week. You know.
Yeah, please dive in.
Oh,
What's your
sure.
first note you have here?
All
You
right.
brought notes.
This is something that I was thinking about in the shower earlier.
Love it.
Shower thoughts?
Shower thoughts. So I've been using Trash 2 a lot
Okay.
lately. That's been my go-to for distortion, for multiband, for like everything. And the thing that I'm curious about is why is Trash 3 worse? Like, why do people like immediately just hated Trash 3 and people still use Trash 2?
So you'd think that's a hot take, but I think a lot of people have that opinion.
I think it's just
Um,
different.
It is definitely different.
Like
They
the
just-
interface is different. It's not all the same
It's a lot more
stuff
simple.
that you can use within
Right?
it.
Oh.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is more simple.
Okay.
I don't know.
I've never
fucked
used
with
it. Yeah.
but that's what I
Um,
hear.
Because I still see people pull up Trash 2 all the time. Like, just like when you're watching like
Yeah.
a stream of somebody, people aren't pulling up Trash 3 very
no,
much.
no.
Yeah.
That is a good grind my gears though.
Yeah.
That's good.
'Cause
What's next?
It would have been great.
Okay,
It would
yeah,
have been
that-
great if they would have fucking done a better job of that.
Sure.
But
Right.
like, I mean, Trash 2 is goated because of the convolution.
Yes, that has been
which
so
I
fun.
don't know if they have that in the Trash 3.
Oh, that's
I
a
haven't even
bummer.
used
And
it.
the convolution was like
Oh.
such a game changer.
It's
Back
so
in the day,
fun.
there wasn't like a bunch of fucking convolution plugins.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you would just like throw one of those like microphones or rooms on your bass sound and be like, what the fuck is it doing?
Yeah.
This is
Ha.
insane.
There's a great video with John Casey where he talks about like he makes a bass sound and uses every single parameter and then like breaks down every single parameter individually. And it was helpful because when I first started using it, I was scared of the convolution setting. I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. But then he did, and I was like, oh, this is so
Right,
good.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
so cool.
It's so cool.
I mean, convolution is the shit.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I've been using hybrid reverb a lot lately as well. I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
for some reason, wasn't using it for a long time, but there's something about it that I do. Like there's that spring reverb they got on there. It's real
The
nice.
spring is nice.
Real
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Having a spring is really handy.
Oh, it's nice, especially for like snares. Love a
Mhm.
spring on a snare.
Mhm.
Yeah. And stairs.
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 Yeah.
Stairs are nice too.
Springs are really
yeah,
good for
yeah.
the stairs.
That's fair.
Oh.
Slinkies.
Oh God,
Shout out
It
to
was a
Slinkies.
rhyme and a joke. Sorry.
yeah, I was.
What's next on your list?
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Alright.
hold on. Before we go there,
Okay.
Oh
I have
my
some fun news.
God.
I have
You have
fun news.
fun news?
It's good for
Oh.
like the intro of the pod.
It's news time.
So it's not officially announced yet, but Serum 2 is right around the corner.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
What
100%.
the fuck?
Fake news.
So-
Fake news, baby.
A
News.
psyop
Psy-
till
yeah.
proven otherwise.
I'm
Yeah,
making this up for
100%.
clickbait.
100%.
No, 100%. So apparently it's been done for a while now. And Steve Duda said he was going to release it during the holidays,
Uh-huh.
but apparently they went against that because they were like, he said something along the lines of like, no, I shouldn't release it because everyone's going to want to spend time with their family and all they're going to be thinking about is Serum
Oh
2 or
come
something.
on, dude.
That is a fun romantic thought. Like, oh, he thought about us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But,
right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Dude, he just hates
He
making
thinks that he's
he hates
gonna
making
pull
money.
people
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
from their
Yeah.
family.
They're still going to
Yeah,
produce.
no, the actual reality is probably they're too distracted to notice that it comes out, and you want it to come out with
Ooh, also that.
like a bang,
Mhm.
so
Right.
that everybody buys it. Obviously, everybody's gonna buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Have they leaked at all
Unless
what
it's
the
ass.
improvements are going to be, or like what are they adding to it?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Dude.
They haven't leaked anything.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna look
Ooh.
like. Okay, so
It's
do you
going to be
guys?
3. Is it going to have another
How much you wanna bet
oscillator?
it sounds or it
Oh.
looks
Well, I know there's the sub and the
same.
noise, but is there going to be like maybe like a third oscillator?
Maybe.
I want to say it's gonna look almost the same.
It's probably going to look the
I
same. yeah.
kind of hope it does in a way, because I'm so used to
I
that
hope
Serum.
it
But
looks like phase plant.
that's what
Oh,
I'm
that'd be
imagining.
funny.
It just looks exactly like
That
phase
would be
I
plant.
bet you.
hilarious,
I bet
too.
you he took some notes from Phase Plant where he's gonna let you like add infinite oscillators
Right,
and infinite effects and
Maybe.
whatever. Maybe.
But is that their brand? You know what I mean? Like Faceplant's already doing it.
Their brand.
Yeah,
I
but it's a
mean-
thing that just makes so much sense. Everyone should be doing
That
it
is
in
fair.
every
That
plugin
is
from
fair.
now on.
The
more
thing
or less.
that Phase Plant has that every other synth company doesn't have is they build their shit ground up.
Right.
They
right.
build everything, every filter, everything is fucking programmed by them. So
It's a lot of
that
work.
shit runs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why you can fucking drop 20 oscillators on your.
Dude, I don't even know what I do with
synth
all
if
that.
you
That's
want.
crazy.
I've done that shit before. I fucking like slowly morph them
Yeah.
together like in some weird way to try and see if I can get like some kind of weirdness out of my sound.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some nice little sounds from it. Usually it turns into a very pretty sound when I
Oh, I could see
Right,
that.
more
slap a shit ton on
of an ambient style
Yeah.
design. that
or
makes
like
sense.
a Rhodesy or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I could see
Right.
that. It's almost like how operator works,
It'll
where
destroy
you
your
have the
CPU,
four. Because operator is nice because you get the 4 oscillators for FM sounds. If you want like a Rhodesy kind of sound, or like
Mhm.
it's nice that just default has 4 that you can FM. Like it's a nice little tool. I do like pulling up operator a decent amount, especially like it makes 808s in like 10 seconds. Like it's insane.
Totally.
You get it already has the pitch knob. You just like
Yeah,
you
once you understand the knobbery,
Nabri.
oh the knobbery
then
because like with
it's
Serum
pretty
even
smooth going.
Serum even like you want to make an 808, you gotta like take the oscillator, you gotta route it to like the master tune, you gotta do a bunch of crap, you know. But like operator, it's just got that one. It's got one knob and like one envelope, and you're like, all right, I have an 808 sound. It's like then you just distort the fuck out of it, and then you're good.
Wow.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Okay. Yeah, right.
No, you're good.
Let's
Let's
see. Okay, the next thing I had was EQing breaks. So like EQing
nice.
old
Yeah.
breaks.
Mm.
I've been
You're saying don't do it.
don't do it ever.
No.
Ever do it.
Never do that.
We need that. We need that vintage feel.
Vintage.
Don't modernize it.
I think it's just like for a long time I was using breaks and not really EQing it, and like I saw one video from this guy Stranger. Shout out Stranger, he's great.
Shout out.
Where he was EQing the almond break, and I was like, you can pull out the snare and the hat so much just from EQ, just from like isolating the snare, boosting the highs,
Mhm.
and then like cutting out the muddy frequencies and stuff like that. But it's like, I don't know, it's something that like I didn't think about for a long time, and
Yeah.
it's crazy that I didn't do it. You know what I mean?
Sure. I apply that same kind of thing to my drum group. Like, I like to have a big EQ on there that I make like small little moves to kind of mesh the whole
blend
thing.
everything.
Yeah, and it's usually after I saturate it.
That's fair.
I saturate everything together, then I do a little EQ to like kind of. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been going with the Matt Davis upward and then downward compression.
Interesting.
On groups a lot recently, but like baby amounts, like not like getting very aggressive with it at all. But I'll tell you what, it will all of a sudden make things sound pretty fucking crispy.
How do you actually do upwards compression in Ableton? Do you guys remember? Is that just the expansion?
Yes.
I've never once.
Yeah, it's the
actually
bottom part
used
of
that.
the multiband dynamics.
Oh,
Bottom section is upwards, and it has a threshold on it that you pull up. And the threshold is like, I think the threshold is like, the sound hits it. It wants to bring things up to the threshold. So as parts come down, it tries to start pulling it up.
Mhm.
Well, I guess in a multi-band kind of context, it would do it like that. I'm using like the spectral compressor, and it.
Who makes the
I can
spectral
make
one?
like 2,000 nodes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Where'd you get a spectral compressor? That sounds crazy.
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
The UI is horrible though, so brace yourself for that.
there-
I
It is
use
not
plenty
bad.
of terrible UI plugins, so that's fine. I use a lot of stock, so like, I mean, most things look bad.
It's
so
literally,
whatever.
it's only bad
It's
because
just
it's
white.
white.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
If it was that but a dark gray, I'd be like, okay, that's fine.
Dude, you
like
do
it's simple,
have,
but
like immediately when something's white and doesn't have a dark mode, you're like, I'm never going to use this
Yeah.
ever again. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So I'll do. It has the ability. You can just like set your compressor settings and then say compress down to whatever the threshold is, and then on the up it has like offset the volume of the upwards compression from wherever the threshold is, so you can set it down like 10 dB or something from the regular compression that's happening. So you're pushing up a little bit and you're pushing down. I'll do them in series though, so I can do different settings on the compression per the up and down.
What makes it spectral? I don't know. That's a buzzword that I've heard a lot from people. Spectral. I don't understand it still.
It's like bands.
at all.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it separates each one of the frequencies into a node, into a bin. That's the word I'm looking for. And then each one of those bins is like its own multiband.
Brain or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like thousands of
Yeah.
bands.
Oh, wow.
This thing goes from like 68 bands to like
2,200
Do you control
bands.
over every
like
band?
76
Is that the
or
vibe?
It
1,000 or more.
It automatically does.
Oh, it
76,000.
automatically does it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I usually
Okay,
pull
so
it
it's
down to
compressing-
like 2 something.
So it's compressing individual frequencies as opposed to...
If it's a spectral compressor, yes. But spectral can be anything. Like a
Of
spectral
course.
delay, you're delaying, but specific frequencies in whatever part.
in
or like
little
a-
bins.
Spectral just means it's processing every frequency individually.
This is a word
basically.
that
You
shows
can
up
think
in
about
my
it.
nightmares a lot.
Yeah.
Spectral. And it's just John coming up to me and being like, Spectral. I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying.
It's just John walking up to you. Spectral.
And I'm like, oh God, what are you saying to me?
John,
No, I don't know.
Do you guys know that Eric Andre skit where he's like, yeah, we used to feed the mentally challenged girl LSD and surround her and say, nightmare, nightmare.
Yeah. That's so
that's
good.
just AT, but it's all of us like, spectral.
Spectral. Yeah.
Nice. Insert skit here. If only. Yeah. Stop it, guys. All right.
we had
Next.
to cut it out, but
Yeah, we had it. It was not.
not good for you.
No.
YouTube did not
Go
like
to
it.
the Patreon and check it out.
Go ahead and move on to your next topic.
All right. I'm just...
Yeah, you're good.
Let's see. Okay, this one, which has probably been covered on this podcast before, but
Covered lots of things.
yeah, it's 194 episodes.
You can think of this more like a radio show. Like things
Oh,
are going to
right.
get brought up multiple times
Yeah.
all the time.
There's only
It's
so
just
many
what it is.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then we have new knowledge to
yeah.
talk about it again.
Of course. Our brains are different.
Mm-hmm.
This one is layering distortion. So like something I've been playing with, which I actually learned from this guy Hermeth. He's like a ghetto techie
Not
kind of
his
guy.
meth.
Not his meth, her meth. His meth, different dude.
Thank you.
There was I was like interested to see how he was getting his bass sounds, and there's actually a Reddit thread that somebody like posted like, how do you get this bass sound? And then he just commented it on it and just like broke down how he does it. And he's like, you take the same 808 sample, you layer it 4 or 5 times, and you distort every single one differently. So you just, and it's the same, like it's an 808 sample too. You don't even make the 808. You just have an 808.
Do you EQ each of them differently, or
Yes.
you just like? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have, it's basically like multibanding as well. So like
Okay.
you're taking, you have your lows, mids, highs, and then like even a noise layer you can put on there.
I see.
But it's just it's something I've been playing with, not only just like that's how it kind of started, but then
Getting
just like
close
now-
to bass music.
I know.
I know,
Look
every
at this
day.
guy.
Yes.
Every
This is-
day.
You're literally just describing
We're not.
sound design.
Yeah.
Are we doing individual samplers? Or are we just group?
individual so I did
the
it
distortion.
the
and
first
then-
the first time I did it, I did do 4 separate channels
Yeah.
for no reason.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
now,
it can be useful.
now I just group them together. So I'll just
Sure.
have like a group, have all the different layers in the group, and then it's easier to like. Then you can group bust
Yeah,
it a lot easier and process them all together.
Mute, unmute.
I do have to
shit.
say,
yeah.
though, you didn't learn it from Hermeth. You learned it from me, technically.
Yeah, I did.
So a year ago, I was doing that, and I was like, hey, T, I learned this sick sound design
Of
trick.
course.
And quote unquote, you said something along the lines of, that doesn't make any sense. No one would do that.
No, you got to remember.
And
I'm
look at you, a year
stupid.
later.
I'm ignorant and stupid, and it
It's
takes
okay,
me a
buddy.
while to figure
it's
things
fine.
out. Yeah.
You
'Cause
just,
It's normal.
you got to see an artist you look up to do it. And then you're like, yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, that or you
sometimes.
just explained it like dog. Because
Possible.
I have the
I've
brain
done that
of a
before.
child, so I don't
I've
know.
done that
Yeah.
before. Well, that or you weren't paying
That was the wrong one.
attention.
Oh, that's
and he
probably
did
it.
explain
Yeah.
it well.
Probably
which is
drunk.
much more likely.
Probably drinking a lot.
We were
and-
probably just drunk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's explaining things in that mode.
Chuck those off out there.
multi-band of the 808.
Yeah, I remember because I was
Duplicate
trying
all
to make
these
an Ivy
saturators
Lab
out.
sound, and it sounded like they had like a bunch of layers on their bass, and like some of them were noisy and some of them were doing shit. And I was like, oh yeah, process the distortions differently and do weird shit with it.
Put fucking tight ass convolution on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Make it go weird.
It takes me a sec. Sometimes somebody will have to explain it to me, or I'll have to see somebody do it 10 different times, and then I'll understand what it is. Like, I'm not a fast learner.
Same.
Never been that at all. So,
But I'm a thorough learner.
thorough, not slow.
Once
thorough.
I learn, I never forget.
A patient.
Steel
Impatient.
trap of learning. Takes me a long time, but then it never leaves.
Exactly.
What was the original thought on this?
Oh, I was just
topic?
saying layering distortions.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, different distortions
In parallel.
in parallel. So like, use trash and then use the amp
Right.
on like Ableton stock.
That is very similar to a method I learned from Bündchen. But he does it in FL, where you can have like this grid where you can have like one synth branch out into two different things, and then you can bring them back together. It's like its own grid or like kind of patching thing in FL. It's weird. It's FL. You guys are weird.
Yeah.
You guys are weird.
But it's pretty cool. But yeah, he does the same thing.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
Distort on one, distort a little bit on a different one, and then have them kind of do their own different things, which is super fun.
It is fun. It just expands what you can. Obviously, with like sound design, it just makes it so there's a lot more options. Because if you're just isolating like specific frequency areas, it's way easier to sound design specifically for this is a very mid-heavy sound. This is a very high-end sound. Like, it's nice to kind of, and it's something I didn't do for a long time with sound design for some reason. I was like, it's this thing and that's it. And then I was like, you know.
I mean, I multi-band distort a lot. Like, I'll throw a multi-band container on and then throw like Saturn on the mids, trash on the high, and like just phase distortion real low on the sub, and do stuff like that.
Well, then it's nice because you can really widen everything that's not the sub too. You can get a lot of like, especially you get the mids and the highs, and you can make them. Maybe you get chorus on one.
Well, especially if you using trash, because then you put that fucking convolution on and start making it.
Yep.
Or you use the infected mushroom wider plugin, which I do.
Don't use that.
Don't use that.
Check to make sure it sums to mono,
Oh, god damn it!
because it's
That's
not.
fair.
It's not the cleanest
Be a little
widener.
squirrely.
It's a little squirrely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would
I do-
rather use a chorus, but
I do use. I mean, I always put it back. Well, no, I guess I don't always put it back in a mono. But if it's meant to be wide, then. But like, if I don't put it
And
on
also,
like a sub.
like most sound systems play stereo these days, right?
I know.
So that's
but
kind of dying out.
That scares me.
Sum to mono thing.
it can definitely affect the sound on a good sound
Or a really bad sound
system.
system.
Yeah, or
really bad
which there's a lot of bad ones out there. So like,
Mainly just like your transients. And
Right.
you need those to fucking...
and it makes it all floppy. Sometimes they'll give it some flop.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Give it some flop.
I don't necessarily need that.
If it sounds weird when you sub it to mono on the master, just maybe try
Change it.
a different method. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Like,
Okay, here,
I don't
Leave
take
it in
any
mono,
chances
make a couple
at all.
adjustments. And
I don't
see
take
if
any
something
chances.
happens.
Do you? Here's another interesting thing. Do you use to make something like a sub mono? Do you use the utility sub mono? Okay,
Yeah, you just-
I thought like it seems too simple for me
that-
to be like to be like the thing to use. Because it seems too easy. Where I'm like, this has to be like cheating or something's wrong with this. Because you just
It's
hit
fine.
sub mono and then you're just like, all right,
Yeah.
It's fine. There's probably some phase.
I was gonna say I've never
Problems
checked
happening
like
there.
the phase
Is it-
alignment of it.
The one thing I do is I isn't there a width knob on it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a width.
I would just throw the whole thing and put it in a multiband.
Oh,
Oh,
Or you
right.
cut
If you,
them-
set
Something
it,
you
if
trust.
you set it to mid side,
I was
then
just
you
gonna say
can-
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you could do mid. I don't do mid side as much as I should. I really should be doing mid side a lot more.
I was
but
doing some mid-side compression and it fucking helped
yeah?
a lot. I like, yeah, because I'm trying to like make
Mid side compression.
interesting.
trying to make
Ooh.
the stereo image and the mono image like separate. Because like
Sure.
a lot of the tracks I've been listening to, like it's a really defined mono things, are here, and then there's like stereo
That makes sense.
here, and they're like kind of separated out.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of fucking with that to try and
Well,
get things
saturation,
to.
maybe.
Yeah, I was trying to do some stuff, and it was hard.
It sounds hard. It sounds
It
hard.
was hard.
It sounds terrifying.
It's hard, but yeah, and it's just on.
I'm just gonna
one
do
sound
this right now.
And what I've learned,
one sound.
Mid-side compression.
what I've learned, that's something. Everything is hard with production. Everything
Yeah.
that I thought was easy
That's
is not
how
easy.
Yeah, it's everything in life.
It sucks. It sucks and it's great because then it stays interesting. Because
It's literally the joy of life.
absolutely,
But then it's also kind of like you learn it and then you get comfortable and you're like, oh, it's actually not as hard as I really thought it was. You know?
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
constantly
And
like
the next thing's easier to learn.
yeah.
that's true. No, once you
And
have a
so
base
on and so
knowledge, it is
forth.
way easier to just
Right.
keep stacking
Base
the knowledge on top of
knowledge.
it.
Yeah,
base
definitely
knowledge.
base knowledge.
Because that's the only thing that matters in modern music is
Your
Base.
base knowledge.
Yeah, I've been having a bass-related
Crisis.
situation on my hands.
base crisis.
I was telling Caleb, I was like, I can't fucking get my bass sounds to be cool right now. Like, I just I was trying and I was just nothing was cool. I'm like, fuck. No, I need some kind of juice right now and I have no idea how to find it. But I eventually did. And it was just layering mid-range
Right.
sounds with the
Yeah.
bass.
There you
I
go.
was just like, this is fucking, I just never do this. I started by trying to make my bass sounds one cohesive unit.
We need
of
to
a
make
thing.
those. We need to make those cards.
I know.
And that's like
Right.
in
We should
there.
make those.
Yeah,
Like
I was
cards.
I was thinking about that literally last night.
And
I started making like a notes list of like
Nice.
and
just
what
yeah.
what we
Are you
need
doing
is
the
like
Eno style thing?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
exactly.
we need like a mixing deck. You know, it's just stuff for like. You know,
Oh, like DJ
mixing
mixing?
deck
or
would be sick.
no, just like a mixing one
Yes.
for
mixing. Okay.
when you're in the mixing kind of head
And the
headspace.
creative deck.
Yes, but there
And
should
then
be like
creative
a
deck. Yeah.
there should be like a bass deck because there's like so much stuff you could do in
Specifically a bass deck.
a bass deck for
Mhm.
stuff like that
Let's
where
go.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
layer some mid-range stuff because yes
Oh,
that
there's a
applies
lot
to
of potential here.
Mm-hmm.
right we could have like 3 or 4 decks
we can-
right out of the
We
get-go.
can keep adding it.
Ooh.
adding
Also,
decks.
the
Right.
fucking DJ Uno concept or like something
Hilarious.
game like that, we need to fucking do because that would be
DJ
a blast.
Uno?
Yeah, we're just calling it DJ Uno. It's not really gonna be Uno, probably, but like,
It'll probably be Uno.
yeah, it'll be exactly Uno.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. Like we've talked about that. I don't know.
Can we call it dose?
Oh,
Those.
it's literally just called Dose. That
No,
sounds
that's the
so
second
wrong
one.
for some reason.
Can we call it eins?
Eins.
Of
That's
course.
one in German. How about ichi? That's
That's
one in
a-
Japanese.
Yeah.
We call it Do. It's two in
What's that?
French.
Keep it rolling.
Oh, yeah, or un, which
Un.
is one in French.
Or do it in sign language. Thank you.
I'll blur that out, guys.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, YouTube.
Yeah. What if I just like had a giant fucking dildo, just like
Dude.
What's one in
Oh,
sign language?
man.
Giant dildo.
I mean, there's got to be someone on YouTube like reviewing dildos. And I mean, they're not like in use while they're reviewing it, maybe, but they're reviewing it.
how
you know
could
what I
they?
mean?
How could they be? How could they review it if it's not in use?
Oh, well, I
need
mean,
to
they
see
probably
it. I need to
used
see
it.
it in
You could-
action.
In action, yeah.
it's just like
Or they used it just like,
Come
you
on.
know, 5 minutes before, and then they're like,
Yeah.
here's my thoughts.
Instead of
You
the
get a
bong on
before
our
and
shelf.
after.
Here's
A
my
before and
thoughts.
after would be pretty good.
That'd be amazing.
Like
This is me before they
today
Omega
we're
2000.
gonna do our you got to unbox it first, obviously.
Oh, obviously.
You do the unboxing.
yeah.
ASMR.
Anyway, you guys get the point.
Yeah, you guys.
And
get
then
it.
after, it's like it's very good.
Instead of
very
the
good.
bong on our
all
shelf,
sweaty.
once a year we just switch it out with a dildo.
Yeah.
See if anyone notices.
Oh.
Yeah, it sways.
What else you got on your list there?
Oh, okay.
AT just carrying this episode.
Dude, dude. Let's see.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. This is another thing that I was thinking about recently. I've been using this plugin ABL, which is like a 303 emulator,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, the one that Jean-Michel showed us.
Jean-Michel, shout out to
Shout out
Tate.
to Tate.
Michel.
But it made me start thinking like, it's limited in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things that you can't do with it, but like almost like the limitations of it make it so like I will just make a 303 sound out of it, and I won't be tempted to do anything else. Like sometimes if I'm trying to make that specific thing in Serum, I'll do other stuff and then it turns not into the thing anymore. So I was wondering, like, do you think that limitations with plugins can be a good thing where there's like only a certain finite things that it can do?
Of course.
I use the synth Tyrell, which is by the same guys who make
That one confuses the fuck
the
out of me.
Ubic stuff. Yeah, but it's like basic as fuck. But it makes like a couple things like really well. And yes, the limitations are perfect. Because when I just want a bleep bloop, it's the one I have to go to. Because like nothing else, everything else is like sterile and like synthetic and like, I am a scalpel, make bass sound with me. But where this thing is just like, hi, I can do like 3 things. Yeah, and you're just like, sweet, just make bloops. All right, cool. I'm gonna add a bunch of things to you now. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Okay, that's
huge.
I was just curious
Also,
about
you got
that.
your clippers. Just fucking
Oh yeah.
input volume.
Right.
Well, there's also always
doesn't do it.
post processing too that you can do afterwards. But like, I feel like it's like the initial sound. Sometimes I don't want a million options. Like it's like this synth, like the ABL has literally, it's not even 2 oscillators. It's either a square wave or a saw wave, and then it just has a diode filter and it just does the 303 thing. And I'm like, good. Like I don't want it to do anything else because I have Serum for that and a bunch of other crap. You know.
Yeah, I busted
Austin,
out
what do
the
you think
fucking lounge lizard a couple times recently.
Hey.
You know?
Oh, Lounge Lizard's great. I forgot about Lounge Lizard.
Dude,
Fuck. I gotta
Lounge
use it again.
Lizard is goated.
It's very good.
So is Chromophone.
I don't know that one.
I don't
It's
know it
by
either.
the same guys, but it's all mallet things. It's also
Ooh,
hint, really good for snare sound design
interesting.
because it's all like blocks and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Shit banging on shit.
I like
so you
blocks,
get
dude.
donk,
I play Minecraft.
donk.
All about those blocks.
I like Legos.
Right.
I like Legos.
I like Legos very much. Thanks, audience.
Austin, please go on.
I was asking him what are his views on this. That you like limited plugins.
No.
I was gonna say I knew your answer already.
I mean, like, yeah, there's the potential, but like, I don't know. When you just understand all the stuff and you get a limited plugin, it's just like, okay, there's just another thing that does not that much. Like you
Just
can't really
gonna get
play
me the audio faster, basically.
at a certain point. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's fun. Like, I don't know. It just has to, if it's really simple, it's got to have just like some sort of unique thing about it. Otherwise, like, why would I use you opposed to the like stock plugins I have? If there's
Right.
no difference, really.
Yeah, it's like something, if it just works, like in terms of you like the UI, you like the way like if you like how it runs, then it's like, okay, I just enjoy using the synth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
you
thing,
might-
too.
UI is a big thing.
But
Yeah,
you might
absolutely.
you might miss out on making something weird that you wouldn't otherwise make because of the UI
The limitations of it.
and the limitations. Sure,
No, but
just-
you wouldn't, because if it's limited and it does the things that
No,
all of your
but that's-
stock stuff does.
right, but you're not going to use it like your stock stuff. That's why, because it looks weird. It functions weird. So you're gonna like, what can I do here? So you play around it, and you're not gonna make
a
those
synth,
things.
sure, but like a delay or a chorus or anything like that, I don't think I'd do anything
Sure.
That's
different.
interesting.
Sure.
It's more of the synth, I guess.
More
yeah,
of the
more
synth
of the
is
synth.
what I was thinking.
A simple limited synth, that's fine.
Okay, yeah,
'cause you're
that's kind
still
of what
gonna
I'm talking
do-
about. It's like mostly just like the synth thing.
My head went instantly.
Oh
to, like,
no.
delays and that
No.
kind of shit.
I was
Well, 'cause
also
Yeah,
Do you
thinking-
ever
simple
get-
synth is fine.
I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
I'm gonna say a term that I don't know what it is, but do you get sometimes like serum brain where you're like,
Ooh, we'll bleep that out.
oh sorry, I mean
That would actually be hilarious. if you
Faceplant
bleeped it
brain.
out.
We'll bleep that one out too, guys.
Okay, we'll bleep that out.
that out too. Shit, sorry, guys.
Should I just keep naming synths? No, but yeah, like, do you ever? I feel like sometimes if I just get stuck in one plugin for too long and nothing's happening, just pulling something else in will sometimes really help. Just to not, because like I'm just looking at the same knobs, I'm doing the same. Like I'm like I can't adjust this filter still. Like it still sounds bad, and then you pull it at like just another random synth, and then it like just does help sometimes to just like get your brain out of that like that whatever parameters that you have on that synth.
Yeah, it's a move.
Yep.
It's a move.
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Next.
Okay, this is the last one.
Okay.
Hopefully this will last 20 minutes.
Make it last however long you want. What do you got?
Okay, this is another thing. I've been downloading a bunch of the old like sample CDs that people were using back in the
Illegally?
No, I've been buying them,
Okay.
of course.
Oh,
buying
dude.
all of them.
We have a million of those on the P Cloud also that John's collected since
then
I
I-
started
God
making
damn
music.
it.
You should check
And
them
then
out.
Well, there's
bought-
also
yeah.
you can get them all on Internet Archive.
Sure.
They're all there. But it's like something I've been thinking about a
Shout
lot
out.
where people like I'll see clips of people that are like talking shit on Splice a bunch, talking shit on like all these like maybe even like I can't remember what the other one's called. Basically just Splice. But like it is interesting that like producers have been using these exact same concepts for the entire time that electronic music has been out. And it's like, I feel like, were people getting shit back then for using sample CDs? Or like, is it just this new thing because Splice is so accessible that people are now starting to kind of like shit on it, where it's
Oh no,
like,
people were always shitting on sample usage
For sure.
Oh, okay, that's
since
fair.
Day one, yeah.
wow, I love
It varies based on the era you're in.
That people just got
Interesting.
more butthurt about Splice because it just made it insanely
So
easy.
easy.
Yeah, like
It didn't
You
make
have
it
to
very
go find your shit anymore. It's
Yeah.
just like a pile of fucking.
mm-hmm.
And then every shit producer is using all the sounds on there. So
Yeah.
the good
Absolutely.
people are like, "There's no way I'm using this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the good shit from over here that no one sees."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is something about it that, because as a fan of sampling, I feel like the idea of digging has kind of like gone away a lot, where I feel like a lot of people, like the amount of times I hear vocals from the front page of Splice
I know,
bothers
right?
me so much. I'm like, you guys didn't even go to page 2 to find a vocal. You just like first page on Splice is crazy to me. Like, I just feel like there is something lost a bit where it is like people aren't digging, because even digging through Splice, there's a lot of packs that aren't being used all the time, but people are just specifically using page 1 and 2 of like Splice, and it's like you guys gotta, or like everybody's just using like the amount of pop songs that it's just like the Oliver packs. You know what I mean? It's like maybe dig a little further than just like the top 10 page on Splice, or whatever.
Yeah. Virtual Riot said actually a pretty cool thing about this. He was just on some podcast. It's like 3 just like raver kids who do a bunch of drugs and go to raves, and they started a podcast, but it's actually like pretty popular and super cool.
Let's go.
Shout out, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, guys, but you've seen them on TikTok, I'm sure. But Virtual Riot was on there, and when he first started hopping on Splice and giving away sample packs, a bunch of the guys from Disciple, that dubstep record label, were kind of giving him shit in a way, like as like friends, but they were like, dude, you're like giving away all of the sauce of like the dubstep land. And Virtual Riot's whole mindset, like he's like an educator person. He loves to just share the knowledge. So he was like, yeah, I am, but sorry guys, like fuck you, I'm gonna do this. And he was
also
saying,
fucking no, now you have to go make your own sounds because all the fucking plebs are using those now.
so exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the other guys, I think it was like Mode Step or something, he was like, okay, well, fuck, now like Virtual Riot's pack is #1 on Splice and everyone's using this. And it forced him to kind of like think outside of his own little like dubstep box and like push the sound or his sound in a different direction.
Yeah.
Right.
So in a lot of ways,
To
it
stand
is
out.
kind of good.
Right.
It is
Right.
kind of good. Yeah. Like if something becomes so popular, it forces you to like be more creative. Then
You start hating it.
you
Yeah.
start hating
I
it.
mean, there's one thing that people say: the rising tide raises all boats. But people don't understand that tide can be like not fun or not scary or not scary. Can be scary.
Can be scary.
Like
Yeah.
it can
It's a
be
thunderstorm, the tide's fucking like-
it could be
Yeah.
something that people are like, no, I don't want this, but you're like, no, it will be good. You just have to
Yeah.
like get
Well,
through
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
and then it's good.
Yeah,
But
big time.
I feel like it's like
Crazy.
even on Splice, like I'm gonna shout somebody out that has a Splice pack. Shout out. Like I was looking through, Keota has a Splice pack, and it's like, why aren't people digging through this kind of shit? Like it's great. There's a
They
lot
are,
of cool
yeah.
shit. Or
Or
I'm
for
not saying
instance,
there
our
are,
sample pack
or the
our
400 bag.
400 bag #1.
Which actually, should we
On the
get that
Patreon.
on
I'll
Splice?
figure it out. We'll see what we can
Yeah,
do.
how do we do
That would be
Splice?
cool.
That would be
We could
fun.
ask Keota, Mr. Tom. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a separate
I
one
don't
for
know if we
patrons
give it to
specifically.
Splice.
Well, that's what I was saying. We'll
It's a
do
Patreon.
Patreon packs and then Splice packs.
Oh, what about
We could do that.
Bandcamp though?
Yeah.
The Bandcamp sample pack game is on another level. I like finding
Really?
random people, like random artists that like the amount of unit sample packs I've gotten from his page. It's like $10.
Oh, I didn't know he had
Dude,
those.
he's got some good shit. There's like, again, it's just digging. Like you got to just dig for like other
Right.
sample shit.
It's a good move. Do it
Yeah.
on Bandcamp because
And they
it's a
support the
place where
artist.
people are
Yeah.
used to like buying audio.
And then you just get a whole sample pack.
Yeah,
and
we
you're
were
like,
planning to
fuck it.
put our shit up on our website,
Right.
but maybe the move would be just like
Yeah,
put them on Bandcamp and then link
maybe we
that
just have a
shit
link. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
That might be
yeah.
the
on the
move.
website. Yeah.
Also, we should throw it up on our MySpace page
You're right.
because
Mm.
that
Oh,
shit.
I forgot to.
Yeah.
I
That's
forgot
the
to
hot
update
spot.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
Or
MySpace. Dude, it's been
MySpace name.
popping lately.
Yeah, we have like 50,000 followers
Y'all
there.
don't even know.
Speaking of MySpace, should we move on to
Oh.
the next
To your space.
MySpace,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
aka TikTok?
Oh, we're watching TikToks.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Where am I? There we go. I was like, what am I looking for here, dude? I'm confused. All right. Watch your audio, guys. I can't guarantee this isn't crazy loud. I will try and catch it, but we'll see what happens. Here we go.
All right.
Prep thine ears.
There's a song starter trick I found where if you take a previously recorded sound design session and drop it into simpler slice mode, you can go to this clips tab over here and filter for a drum pattern and drop it on your simpler track.
Oh.
Oh yeah. It's a good move.
This just takes the MIDI from the clip so you instantly have rhythmic slices to start a song or drop.
That's great.
That is great.
I love that.
Fucking Dank Sauce is
Shout out
slaying
Dank Sauce.
shit,
Yeah.
dude.
He's
Dude, I don't
great.
know this guy, but this is amazing. This
Oh,
is
you
a
haven't
great
seen
tip.
Dank Sauce
I don't
yet?
think so, no.
Damn.
You haven't seen Dank Sauce?
No, I haven't seen Dank Sauce yet.
Shit.
No, I've been off of, unfortunately, right when TikTok was supposed to be banned, I uninstalled it. Now I can't get it again.
Why
so I
would
yeah.
you uninstall it?
I did it immediately.
I got a new phone.
Crazy.
So I just haven't
I
I
don't
haven't been
have
on
it.
TikTok at all.
Don't
Well,
worry,
no,
guys.
Dank Sauce has been he's been popping off the past like year or so.
I'll follow
but
him
I'm
on
sure he's on
Insta.
Insta. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's on Insta.
Yeah, he's crazy. He like every day.
Oh, because this guy too. Oh, there. I can't. I don't
Alright.
remember his name though.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. I don't remember what his name is.
Are we ready?
Mhm.
Ready? Yeah, that was a great little. I'm gonna use that. Oh, I love this
God,
guy.
we can't do him every week.
This guy's amazing. I love this dude.
I'm gonna start that over so we can hear it. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
A very true story from someone that never leaves their house.
So I was talking to this real human girl the other day about how AutoShift also has a MIDI in function, and she went like, and I was like,
Yeah, right? You can even put AutoShift after a granulator taking MIDI input from another track.
and she was like,
Oh my god, that's so cool.
then I was like,
I know, right? And you can also turn the shape down, essentially warping the grain's crossfade to one side, and adjust the grain size to a quantized duration by selecting the grid and looking down to the status bar.
and she was like,
Wow, you're so smart.
and then I asked her,
Remember when you said Fiona C3U long?
Yeah?
Well, there was a fluctuation in your amplitude throughout your delivery.
Well, yeah, it's because I'm a real human girl.
So if I add variation to the position of your granulator, each pulsation would have a different velocity.
and then she was like,
Haha, you're so
and then all of a sudden, two random LFOs knocked down the door demanding to mount to our format shift and format follow.
Fuck, dude.
And they were really quantized. Like, you could tell they went to the grid every day. And you know me.
Dude.
Yeah, I just let them take it. Then, at the top of her real human lungs, she screamed. And while she was screaming, I pondered. Sure, now I've got a MIDI side to randomly quantized positions of construction. But that's all I've got. Maybe it's all I need. Wait, is that an 808? And an airy counter melody? Oh no, I fell asleep in front of the computer again.
That was I couldn't.
Goated, dude.
I don't know how he continues to outdo himself
I
every
know.
fucking
Dude.
time.
He used to not be as memey. He's really gone into
Yeah,
that, which is
he's-
sick.
he's
It's
going
sick.
in,
It's great.
yeah.
It's
He's,
good.
yeah, he's figuring out how to get them views.
Yeah,
Get
he's
them
got,
views.
He's got just the right amount of salt on each one.
Dude,
So
that
good.
I couldn't even probably, if you asked me to break down what he just said, there was a lot there. But like
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
to watch that again, but it was some
fair.
good, it sounded cool.
Some good tricks in there.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch it next week on the YouTube.
I can,
or
yeah.
this Friday on Patreon.
Yeah, or just go to his page and watch it there.
No, on the Patreon.
All right,
Watch
are we
his
ready?
video on our Patreon.
Of course.
Exactly.
One thing I wish I knew when I started producing was room verb. Like, why did no one tell me about room verb when I started producing? Like a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of room verb. You know that feeling when you're producing and it just feels like you can really tell that you're producing in Logic or Ableton? Like, it just doesn't feel like a song. It feels like it's like really part of the software. If you add a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of room verb to a group of instruments, to some drums as a send on some channels, it lifts those things off the page and actually makes it feel real. The amount of time I wasted trying to figure this out when 80% of the reason why my things weren't sounding the way I wanted to was because they didn't have a tiny bit of room verb.
Room verb.
Room verb.
Room verb.
Yeah, and I've been kind of digging into this recently. Like on my drums, the snare, the kick, and all the hi-hats each individually have a drum room rack thing that I made that's a pretty short room, but I have the parameters to like make it longer or bigger if I want, and then it goes into a bandpass filter that I can control to kind of like make sure that the room verb is applying the correct frequencies it needs to the drums.
Yeah,
So I can like have them all on at the same time, and like the mix on them is like 2%. And a lot of times after the band passed, I'll put an OTT at like 75% and then a saturator just to really kind of flatten it. But then, you know, I tuck it way back and I sit there and I fuck with where the band pass is until it kind of just sings with the hit of the drum, to where the whole kind of drums 3D-ify.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
interesting.
works fucking wonders. It's insane.
One way I like to think about it is you could like turn down your speakers a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and listen to it and listen for when you can actually hear the reverb.
Mm-hmm.
If you can hear the reverb, that means it's sticking out. So like then you can push that shit back and
Right.
it'll just sit there and be nice.
Right.
And you know that it's not getting in the way of things.
Right. You should be able to A/B the reverb on and off and like feel the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like you shouldn't be able to like really hear it a lot. Like although you will if you're just listening to the drums alone or
Sure.
that thing alone, but it's when they're all together that like it just blends it all fucking.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I literally on this track I was working on, that exact moment happened to me where I was working on the intro a bunch. I was like, okay, time to like dive into that shit. And there was this one hit where I have a big reverb throw and it kept bugging the shit out of me. And I was like, it's gotta be like the reverb's too bright or like there's too much mids. And I did like all this shit. And then I realized it was just like super, super fucking loud. And I turned it down a little bit and hit play, and I was like, "Oh, it's fucking perfect now." It
Yeah.
blends into
Just
all the
needed to
other.
be quieter.
It just needed to be quiet. It was
Yeah.
like at the same volume as the hit,
Right.
and I just
Oh.
like didn't notice somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've ran into
That'll
that
happen.
for
Yeah.
sure before.
I
Yeah.
was like, "Why does this sound so horrible?" And you turn it down, and like, perfect.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready for this last one here?
Of course.
Oh, there's
All right,
another.
last one. Let's do it.
Dude, yo. That delay's sick, man. What plugin is that?
Latency.
Sick.
That's insane. I like that.
What is this trend with red walls in a studio too? Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah. It's like some like David Lynch type vibes or
Yeah,
something. You know, like
it's
Twin
like the
Peaks.
classy, like this
It's
is
better for your eyes.
Is it?
Yeah. yeah.
red light.
It gives light in the room without having to like give you shitloads of
low
blue
red
light.
light. You know how you use the red light on your headlamp when you're camping, so that you don't use.
So when you turn
Fuck
it off,
Yeah,
you just see.
Austin.
Yeah, me
So the red
specifically.
light.
Fuck.
Yeah, I do all.
It's because they're staring at screens all day.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have extra light in your room, it might as well be red to reduce the amount of strain that you're gonna get.
It looks nice. What about purple? Can you?
Yeah, purple would be
Purple
good.
would
Or is
be
that like
good,
a weird
though.
hybrid
No.
of reflecting blue light though?
No, if you get
purple's
the right
aight.
purple, it can be
Black
higher
lights, bro.
in. Yeah, it can be higher in the ultra
Violet.
That's
Yeah.
what
which
you
is
really
good.
want. Just
Blacklight, you'll
straight
see
up
things you
black
don't want to
lights.
see.
Yeah,
You'll
black
see a
lights
lot of things you're
everywhere.
not ready to see.
A blacklight studio would be tight.
That'd be fucked up. Be
Even-
really
I mean,
fucked
even
up.
just having blacklight mode would be nice.
Yeah, blacklight mode.
You're like, I didn't know I had
Blacklight
this much
mode.
dandruff.
You
Yeah,
have
like
a
fucking
button
blacklight
for
did.
it. Yeah.
The whole keyboard's covered in
Yeah, you're like, oh
I do
god.
I do have one blacklight. We could go blacklight mode in the kitchen.
Oh, I have a black light also. We can have two
You
black
have,
lights.
you have a
black
bulb as
lights?
well?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Unless that's just the bulb you're thinking
All right,
of.
folks, this has been episode 194.
Absolutely.
Black light
The
episode.
producer lounge, guys. Thank you so much, Warren In, for coming on this episode in such short notice.
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
Like I said, I was outside digging through your garbage, didn't find anything good. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Sure.
I'll go
Yeah.
on the pod.
We actually have a couples announcement.
Couples?
We decided to pop the big question.
Oh, we
No.
did.
We're doing an EP together.
We are.
You too.
Yeah.
We are. We have, it's coming at some point.
At some point.
Probably in the spring, we're thinking.
It started as, so we have 3 songs done, and we were like, oh, these are fucking sick. Let's not let these just die on the hard drive, finally. And then we had the idea, I have 3 other songs that are in a similar vein that I never would have done anything with. And I was like, what if we just do like a collab EP? So it's like we have 3 songs that are a collab, and then I'll have 3 originals, and then he has 3
You
originals.
guys should make a new project and name it something fun, but then when you like release it, you release it under that name, but then also each one of your names.
Do the Skrillex
yeah.
Diplo Jack You
Right,
thing.
right. So it has all 3.
Actually, yeah.
That's not a bad. Oh,
Shades-
God, we have to think of
Shades
names.
does the
But then we
same
have to
thing.
come up with a name.
The
Dude,
names are the
it took us
hardest.
like a year and a half to come up with in Vega.
It did
Dude,
take a long
It's
time.
the most fun though.
It is fun, but
It is fun.
It sucks because you come up with a sick name and then you go check on Spotify and there's already 15 of those.
Call
people.
it like Warnadel.
I was just going to say,
That's
Warnadel
horrible.
is horrible.
That's so bad.
Aznain.
As the in.
Asnan.
Warren.
Our names couldn't be more opposite from each other.
All right, guys. Well, shout out your EP.
Yeah.
Do we have an idea when it's coming out?
He said spring.
Spring. thinking
Definitely spring.
This year?
Yeah.
This
Oh,
year.
wow. All right.
Yeah, we got pretty much. It's pretty much. We just got to fine tune
So
everything.
now.
Yeah, it's literally done. We just don't want to release it in the winter.
Yeah, we don't
'Cause
want to
fuck
release it.
winter.
We want to,
Damn. All
Yeah.
right. Well, sorry, winner.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Winner.
Wow, they got
Winner.
they got that shit done. Guys.
It's done.
Well,
It's ready.
done.
Folks, you can see Warren In. His SoundCloud account is SoundCloud/J928J7643G7.
Just go to his Instagram.
No, he
Yeah.
actually
Find
updated
it.
that like a week ago.
Did he?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, now it's like
It's proper.
profesh.
It is it?
It's
Yeah.
profesh,
all right, cool.
dude.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's so
Fucking-
worn in.
Either way, you'll see those in the links on YouTube down below in the description.
Sick.
Got some songs out and stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
dude.
Folks, we launched our Patreon this week. Go check it out.
Big
There's
ups to
still
Patreon.
there are still some dollar tiers left. We only have 20. I think there's still 14 up. So go snag one of those. There's a 45 sample pack up there this month. Next, actually, it's 46. Excuse me.
Mhm.
45
46.
next month.
Yeah.
There's an episode of the Neural Nexus of
Yep.
us exploring the Eldritch Notch.
That
Super
will never
fun.
make it to YouTube.
Nope, that's only
Dude,
on the
that'll
Patreon.
get banned immediately.
Yeah, there is.
People aren't ready for the Eldritch Notch.
No, they're not.
That'd be a good shirt.
People
aren't ready for the Eldritch Notch.
And then it's just the view of it, the fucking scraggliness. Ah, I'd love it. So yeah, guys, go check that out. Go. It's just Patreon /always400. Really easy to find. It should be in the links on the website as well. And folks, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya. Thank
Peace
you,
out,
everybody.
yo.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you guys. We're gonna go screw around.
Oh, next week we have Back Left.
It's true.
Oh, yay.
Next week we have back left. We'll see you then.
Peace.
Bye.